Hey there, how's everybody doing today? All right, we're wrapping up this growth mindset series. I'd love to hear your feedback, what you thought of it. I know it was a little bit different from my typical short and sassy and sometimes often feisty. This episode's probably going to be a little bit feisty, so just in case you were missing it, I'm going to bring it back a little bit. But anyways, I've been having fun with the growth mindset because, obviously mindset has been something that's been a huge commitment for me this year. I have really dedicated because there's only so far you can grow your business with strategy, and you have to be able to get through your mindset in order to continue to grow, right? Like the strategy and the actions and the art of doing can only get you so far, but it's the mindset shifts that are really what catapult your growth. And so I'm not saying I'm 100% an expert at this. I'm not saying that I don't struggle with this. I tell you guys all the time, I have a mindset coach on retainer, on laser, she calls it laser coaching, but I have her on retainer. And so don't think that I have not struggled with this. Where I want to help you try to move through it is for the growth of your business, is stepping into that role of CEO and business owner and ownership. It's the ownership of your business. That is the growth mindset that I really am trying to focus on. Okay. So today we're talking about this discipline and commitment to yourself, the commitment to your business and the commitment to yourself. And oftentimes what I see is because we work online, we work remote, we work for ourselves, and there's all this freaking noise and bullshit and just all this crap out there about you have two completely opposite trains of thoughts out there. You have the hustle, like never stop, never quit, da 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 da, do whatever you have to do, blah blah blah. Work, never sleep, and drive yourself to burnout, and that's horseshit, as you know. But then you also have this other train of thought was like, you can work 2 hours a day from your cell phone and magically make 6 figures without doing any work. And you don't even have to show up, and you don't even have to talk to people, which again, is horseshit. And so today I really want to dive into this discipline and commitment to yourself, but defining what that looks like for you. All right. There is a happy medium. But whatever you define that as is you as a business owner and your business, like hours per se, then you have to be disciplined and commit to it, right? Think about a brick and mortar business. If you were to open up a brick and mortar business that had business hours of 10 to 2, even if it was only 10 to 2, and that worked for your customers, and that's totally fine. Imagine if you decided one day, you know what, I'm just not going to show up. I don't feel like it. I thought about it, but I just don't want to. Or what if you had a brick and mortar business and you decided, that you just decided not to order any inventory this month? I didn't feel like it. I didn't get to it. I didn't. I tried. I couldn't figure it out. I got stuck. The computer crashed. I'm hoping it arrives. Like, it sounds so ridiculous when I say it, because the reality is it is absolutely ridiculous. You would never do that. If you opened up a brick and mortar store, you would make the commitment to showing up. You would make the commitment to be sure you had products there for people to buy. You would be there, right? But I see as business owners in the online space or, in the virtual space, that sometimes we kind of just let things go, right? Like we have a little bit more of a willy-nilly approach. And I want you to think about like these statements like, well, I'm trying to figure it out. Well, I'm hoping. I really have no plan. But, I heard on another podcast, she's like, imagine going on Shark Tank and looking at Mark Cuban and be like, well, I'm trying to figure it out, but, like they would look at you like you were absolutely crazy. Like, I'm trying to figure it out is not a plan. It is not having any kind of commitment or just like discipline to yourself. All right. And so I want you to think about like, what does it look like? What discipline? And my mindset coach shared this with me. She said, change discipline, the meaning of discipline, to be more of like a disciple to yourself, right? Like, what are you committing to? This is not about a commitment to anybody else. This is about committing to you and your goals, your dreams, your growth, your passion and your visions. Like, how can you be a disciple to yourself. And what does that look like? And I want to challenge you to think about that. And so one of the things that I do is I realize that in order for me to, be this disciplined and to commit to myself, I really don't thrive on habits or routines. I just don't. However, there are obviously certain things, and I say that, but I'm even going to challenge myself in saying that, because it's like I don't thrive on routine. Well, there are certain routines in my life every single day. We all have habits. Like if you've read the book Atomic Habit, like walking into the bathroom and flipping the light switch on, that's a habit, right? So I'm not saying I don't thrive on any of them. However, one of the things that I realized that I needed to do is I'm very task-based. I'm very task-oriented. And so I am committed and giving myself the discipline to create like a top 5. My top 5 list every day. I do it every night, and I create my top 5 for the next day. And if I get, not if, it's a non-negotiable. Those top 5 have to get done. And don't get me wrong, I've had some trial and error with it, because some days I overcommit to my top 5. When I'm booked with calls all day, I can't get big projects done. And so on those days, I have to remember to commit to just smaller things. And that's another huge part of this growth mindset, is stopping the overcommitment, right? Like, stop overcommitting. Look at your schedule and be realistic about it. What can you commit to and what can you not? Where do you have a plan? Where don't you? And I want you to ask yourself this question. What is your plan for growth? Do you have a plan? Do you know exactly what you need to be committed to? Do you know exactly which disciplines you need to put in place in order to hit that growth? Because if you don't, you're just literally winging it, which is one of my biggest mindset shifts. I think it's mindset shift number 1 in that growth mindset cheat sheet, is this winging it. Winging it is not a growth strategy. Okay, you cannot just wing it. Go back to the Shark Tank example. If you went on Shark Tank as a business owner and you were asking them to invest into your business, and they asked you what your plan was, and you were like, I'm just kind of winging it. I don't know. I don't really have a plan. They would, like, seriously? You would not even make it through the door. You wouldn't even probably make it through the audition, obviously. So that you really need to figure out, like, where is this commitment coming into play? What are you committed to? Can you commit to it on your own? Can you be disciplined on your own? For some of us, we can't. Why do you think I have a mindset coach? Why do you think I have executive VAs? Why do you think I continue to invest into my business? Because the accountability helps me stay disciplined and committed. And that's okay. There is nothing wrong with admitting, or it's actually very, very empowering to admit that you need help with discipline and commitment. Okay? Some people are naturally disciplined. Some people just naturally have that in them. Others, we need a little bit of accountability. I thrive on accountability. 100% thrive on it. I love it. And so I love that my mindset coach sends me homework and I can't book another call with her until it's done. That is amazing. That's a huge commitment for me, because I paid the money to be there. I paid the money to work with her, and she's making sure that I'm not just sitting there, showing up to the calls and saying, yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll work on that. No, you don't get to book another call until you've got your work done. That's discipline. That takes discipline, and that takes commitment to yourself. It's not a commitment to her, because she's there. She's showing up, right? It's a commitment to yourself. And so I want you to really, really, this is so important for the growth of your business. This is a mindset shift, because it's way too easy to get wrapped up in, overcommitting. It's way too easy to get wrapped up in the noise of the 4-hour work week. It's way too easy to get wrapped up in the noise of hustle until you burn out, right? You need to sit, and this is what I want you to do. Here's your action step for this, for growth mindset series number 4. I want you to take at least 30 minutes, and I want you to go sit somewhere quiet. And I want you to really just brain dump, just start writing out everything that you feel, either areas you excel in from a discipline perspective, areas where you feel like you could use a little bit of assistance, or areas where you just know this is not for me, right? Like, I am not going to commit to this. One of the things I'm not going to commit to is a morning routine. I'm just not going to do it. It doesn't work for me. I don't enjoy it. I hate the pressure of it. That's where I say I have tasks. I journal every day. I sit in my little sacred space. I don't have a specific time that I do it every single day, but I make the commitment to being there. Okay? So think about it from your own perspective. If you thrive, my husband thrives on routine. He likes every single day, certain things happen at the same time. Okay? But I want you to sit with this. What can you commit to? What are you going to not commit to? And what can you do to what actions do you need to be put in play to stay disciplined to this, to be a disciple to yourself, to continue to grow, okay? And if you need help, where do you need help? Who is the right person? Is it a person? Is it a tool? Is it a software? Is it just some guidance? What is it that you need help with? If there's something that you feel that you struggle with when it comes to staying disciplined or staying committed, what is it? Be honest with yourself. I could have done an entire episode in this series on just being honest with yourself and being self-aware, because to me that is something that is, if you go back and listen, that's a common denominator in all of these episodes, is awareness. Being aware of when these things come up. Going back to episode 1, we talked about getting uncomfortable. It's like being aware of the resistance, being aware of where you're, keeping yourself comfortable. Number 2, we talked about your fear-based responses, like being aware when fear is showing up, false evidence appearing real. In the 3rd episode, we talked about fact versus emotion, being aware of when it's an emotional response versus a factual response, okay? Self-awareness is key. Same with this. Being aware of what you're willing to commit to, what you can commit to, and being aware of what you need to do in order to continue to be disciplined to those commitments. It all comes back to self-awareness if you really think about it. That is what's going to take you to that next level. If you really have been feeling like you're sitting stuck at a same level, like no matter what you do and you can't get past it, I guarantee there's something you are not doing when it comes to your mindset work, right? Like there is something that you have not stepped into from a growth mindset perspective. It is in your mindset. I guarantee it's not anything you're doing wrong. There's only so many strategies you can put in place. There's only so many actions you can take. It's not always actions. It's not always more. It's not always that you need a better lead magnet. It's not that you need, a better strategy. It's not that you need to change your pricing. All of those things. I'm not saying that they're not options, but I'm telling you that they are likely not what's keeping you stuck. It's this resistance you have to stepping into the CEO mindset, the growth mindset that you need in order to get past that stuck, okay? So strategy and growth, and mindset, they go together. They're not one or the other. You have to be able to step into that mindset. And so if you are ready to step into that mindset, own that mindset, and then you need the strategy to help you get there and, put the actions in place and to stay on top of these commitments, then that's when I want you to apply for my 1 month or 2 month intensives or my rapid fire retainer option, okay? Because only when you are ready, I'm not saying you have to have it all figured out. I'm not saying that you have to be 100% on all the time. I'm not saying your mindset has to be just never ever show up, right? Like where we have these moments where it's just kind of something we're struggling with. Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. I would be such a hypocrite in saying that you have to, because I'm not all the time, right? But what I'm telling you is you have to be ready. You have to be willing, and you have to be, excited to step into that next level mindset, that next level of growth. That's when you can put the strategies in play that are going to catapult your success. And I'm telling you this from my own personal experience. I promise you, capture and get ahead of your mindset, and that's when the growth starts to happen. I'm telling you, there's a good chance that the strategies you have, they're good. They're even better when you've got the mindset backing them as well. Okay. So, but if you are ready, your mindset, you got it, you're ready to make that, step into that role and step into the ownership of business owner and be the CEO, and you need help figuring out what the next idea is, because all you've got is ideas. I mean, you need help figuring out the plan, right? You've got all the ideas. That's the fun part, is all the ideas. But if you need help actually making those ideas profitable, that's when I want you to go. Click the link down below in the show notes. Apply for my 1 or 2 month coaching or retainer. Maybe you don't need the intensives. And let's get you moving forward, right? Let's catapult that growth. I want to help you, and I promise you that I can help you do that when you are committed. When you are committed and you are ready and you are willing to be pushed outside of your comfort zone, when you're ready to start making fact-based decisions for your business, when you're ready to stop letting your mind and your fears control your every waking decision. I didn't mean it like that. That came out a little wrong. But I mean, fear, right? When you're ready to start tackling all those things, that's when you become unstoppable. Truly, 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 truly. All right. So if you're ready and this growth mindset series helped you and now you're ready, go click the link, apply. Let's make it happen. Okay. Because don't wait until January or February when the next one-to-one spot opens. All right. Because what's your plan between now and then? If you don't start now, what is your plan? Ask yourself that question. What is my plan to actually grow the business where I want it to go if I don't get the help I need? You don't have to grow your business alone. You do not have to grow your business alone. All right? I will talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed this mindset series, and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming next week. Real quick reminder, if you want to dive deeper into some of these growth mindset shifts, I have a free growth mindset cheat sheet that is linked in the show notes that you can hop on, grab your journal, start taking notes, and dive into and really work on these mindsets. So be sure to click the link below and grab the free cheat sheet.